All right, guys, great video for you today. How the heck are you? I am Fastidious. I'm sharing with you my gear recommendation settings. So what is that? Well, gear recommendation settings, it's a new feature that came with the update this past Tuesday, and basically it allows you to customize what criteria a certain type of gear or a certain piece of gear must meet to be worthy of the thumbs up recommended status. Previously, they had a couple very simple rules, and it led to a lot of really not good gear getting a thumbs up. So that thumbs up essentially was meaningless, and you had to go through piece by piece and check them anyway, because really good pieces would slip through the cracks, and really bad pieces could still get a thumbs up. Now we can set these rules ourselves. If we go here to manage plan, you will see I have set 17 rules. This first thing I'm going to go over with you guys are my late/end game gear recommendations settings. These specific settings are for the kind of player that has reached the point where they're really targeting very high quality stats matched with the appropriate sets. After this, I will show you the mid-game settings. These are a little more lenient when it comes to what sets, and it's more focused on what stats you want on certain kinds of gear. But you can see these are the kind of rules we have. We have on our left side, we have two different rules for tanks. We have an inspiration rule. We have DPS rules for HP and defense, HP-based healers, attack-based healers, and attack-based DPS. And on the right, we've got our defensive DPS, our HP DPS, our attack DPS. We've got HP-based healers, attack-based healers, our spammer and utility units. These are like Laurel or Aeon or Mari. Then we've got a specific rule just for glacier gear. We've got our tank set rules, and then we have two specific rules for crit rate main stats. Yes, these can even be used crit rate bangles in the end game, but they need to be very high quality with very specific stats. So we have rules for all of it. It is that great. I'll take you through it really quickly now, then I'll show you the mid-game stuff. But the key thing is I can export this plan. You can copy this code. I'll have them in the description, or you can just take it off your screen right now. And you can go import, enter my code, and you'll instantly get all these rules. So just make sure you're using the appropriate rules. So the late end game rules if you're a late or end game player, and the mid game rules if you're anything but that. You may be wondering, why are there no early game rules? In the early game, you are going to keep such a vast majority of your gear. You're never really going to think about cleansing beyond just selling really terrible stuff until you've completely filled your gear inventory. That will take you a really long time, weeks, if not months. And by the time you reach that point, you will be ready for the mid-game rules, assuredly. I thought this keeps it really, really clean, really simple. The rules between the two are essentially identical, just the endgame rules are a lot stricter and more stringent, and the mid-game rules are a little broader and include a lot more sets that are just strictly undesirable in the late and end game. All right, guys, lots to share. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
So there are only 17 rules. Let me very quickly take you through all of them. I just did all of this live on stream. I was joined by my new head Discord moderator, Pink Jesus. So huge thank you and shout out to him. You can go catch the whole VOD if you want to see the whole process. I think it actually might be interesting to a lot of you guys. And most importantly, I think it may teach you how to make rules of your own. Maybe there are a couple of my rules you don't like. Of course, you could just import them and then edit and adapt them. Or you can just follow the process and then make your own from scratch. I think it'd be a good watch for a lot of you guys. Very quickly, I do want to say there are a couple glitches when it comes to the rules and how you import them. As it stands right now, I'll give you my export code, then you use that code to import the rules, but they don't show up with the names. So I would suggest it's a tiny bit of work, but I promise it's less work than making your own rules. Maybe refer back to this video and match all the names. They'll still show up in the same order. However, they're going to be like rule 1, rule 2, rule 3. I do not know why they're not importing the names. I think it's really, really stupid. But once you have those settings, this thing is clean as heck. However, I have to tell you about one more glitch. Once you have those rules, you'll go quick select, you go unrecommended gear, you click it, and boom. I know off the bat, I have 187 pieces I can sell with one click of a button right now. How fantastic is that? However, right now they have it set that when you press quick select, you'll see right now I have not ticked on this box, hide locked and hide enhanced. when you do quick select and do unrecommended gear, so gear that does not match any of the criteria, does not fulfill the rules, does not get a thumbs up, when you click that, they auto click on locked and enhanced gear. The key thing here is they're hiding our enhanced gear, and actually there's something in the code right now that is not allowing enhanced gear to be recommended or not recommended. I suppose the thinking by the developers was, well, they already enhanced it, so it doesn't need to be recommended now, but it's pretty annoying because if you've been playing the game for a while like me or many of you, you've leveled up pieces that you want to sell now, and I really wish those thumbs up would stay. Let me find you a good example right now. Let's go to a piece like this one right here. This is a piece from way back in the day, I'm sure, where I was like much earlier on, and I was like attack bonus main with flat attack speed, heal effect. That could be used as a broken set piece. Because it is tier 2, it will have the higher main stat, will be 66% instead of 60. This could be used, for example, on a healer, on an attack-based healer. Now I'm at the point where there's no version of any world ever that I would use this piece. So I wish it could just show up as a not recommended piece and insta sell. Instead, you will still have to go in and sell them one by one. However, if we make a lot of noise, if you guys put in some Discord suggestions and bring this to the devs and the official Discord mods' attention, I'm sure they can fix this. It's pretty frustrating because this is fun, right? You go quick select, I do unrecommended gear, one click. Now I have 187 pieces I know I do not want on my account and I can instantaneously sell. That is nice, but it'd be so much nicer if it was including all the other leveled gears as well, which you thought would come with these filters, but even if you click those on and go quick select, it does not include it. It just doesn't. It just, you see those things check on the left anyway. So it should be as simple as you click and then it sells hundreds and hundreds, but for now it's only going to be the non-leveled pieces. The good news, once you deal with those leveled pieces, in the future, if you do a big farming session, if you farm several hundred pieces, all those will be unleveled new pieces, and they will all either get the thumbs up or not, and it will make the selling so easy. You can do this straight from the auto fight screen. So if you queue up 100 battles, you click on the settings that you want to quick select all the non-recommended gear. In one click, you'll sell of those 100 pieces, depending on where you are in the game, 60 of them or 70 of them or 90 of them or 97 of them. And that is so flippin' convenient. Okay, let's go through the late and end game rules. So we'll go to settings, and this is gonna be very fast. You can go watch the stream if you want in depth. So we'll start at the top. We've got our defense DPS settings. This is a great catch-all. So you can see the primary attribute, we've got defense bonus, crit damage, attack speed, and then the required 3 selected secondary attributes are defense bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and attack speed. However, it guarantees you get all 4 of these stats that are in the secondary attribute. Why do I say that? If defense bonus is the main, you need 3 of these, and you can't also have defense bonus as a secondary attribute, so it requires that it gets all 3 of these right here. If it's crit damage, it requires you can't get crit damage, so attack speed, crit rate, and defense bonus, and then if it's attack speed, it requires these 3 over here. You get it, it's pretty simple, and we picked all the high-end, top tier, tier 2, and tier 3 DPS sets. You may be thinking, why not the Insight set, the Wisdom, or of course the Night Terror set? Those can all be ascended to be these great tier 2 sets. We are not at a point in the game right now where you would ever use your Ascension materials for a defense DPS hero. There are so few of them, none of them are that good. You're not using your Ascension materials, so we're only doing those high-end things. Now if we go to our HP DPS set, you can see we have included all this stuff. Quick thing, Hell's Lament, that has a defense bonus in it when you're blocking heroes. That's why we include it for defense DPS. Unshaken Will has a nice HP bonus, so that's why that was included, as well as Asclepius. Everything else the same, and it's the same catch-all here. Instead of defense bonus is HP bonus, everything else goes through the same. Now we've got our attack DPS sets, the exact same thing. The sets do change. I am including the Insight set, Wisdom set, and Night Terror, because you may very well want to ascend those. If you have a beautiful Wisdom piece, you will want to ascend that to Soban Arcana, obviously. So we're doing the same drill after that. Attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed, and then you're taking the other 3 guaranteed. That's what it takes for a thumbs up. This is late and endgame stuff. You're looking for the right sets with the right stats, full stop. Now we've got our healers. R stands for right side gear. We are requiring that they have a main stat of HP bonus, rage regen, or attack speed, and then they have 3 of these other stats, and it guarantees it, right? Because again, if it has a rage regen main stat, it can't have it as a substat. So you're saying I want rage regen with HP bonus, heal effect, or attack speed, or HP bonus with rage regen, heal effect, attack speed. All right, I've been pretty pedantic, pretty thorough. Let's go a lot faster. Attack-based healer, exactly the same drill. All the sets are matching appropriately for what we need. Here we got Morale, Invig, and Asclepius. And now the only difference then with our HP-based healers is it's taking attack bonus instead of HP bonus. The rest is the same. We've got our spammer utility units. So these are heroes that need to get a lot of instances of attacks out because they're putting out slows or putting out vulnerabilities, so on and so on. You can think heroes like Mari. You can also think about heroes like Laurel. You know, she's not doing any crazy effect with her basic attack, but the more she does that and the more rage regen you have on her, the quicker she'll be able to ult, and you'll get that nice rage generation for everyone around her, up to 3 allies. So it's those kind of units. We got Morale Set, Invig, Mana Spring. Now we have a special rule just for Glacier. We had extra rules left over. You get up to 20. As you can see, I think we made it to 17, as I said. So this was rule number 17. So basically, this is thinking Glacier for a tanky or a support unit, someone like a Constance, not for something like an Abomination. You may wonder, but Abomination can be good in Glacier, or maybe Ares could be good in Glacier. All the good DPS Glacier pieces you'll get by this point in the game. Ancients do not get recommended or not recommended. They cannot be insta-sold, so you don't have to worry about that filter. You can use Ancients and get a nice build together on a hero like that. In general, this is the real use. It's for someone like Constance. So it's these rules. You know, Glacier's all about HP and attack, so we're hunting for all of that with a little extra tankiness or rage regen or attack speed. We need all 4 of these. We want perfection. Now, if we go to our tank sets, we got our tanky selection up here, and this is a nice catch-all. Again, we're saying whatever the main set is, we need these 3 other substats. So if it's HP bonus, we want flat defense, flat HP, and defense bonus. If it's defense bonus, we want flat defense, HP, and HP bonus. Now we've got our crit rate rules to end it off with the right side gear. Pretty darn simple. The only way you're keeping crit rate main pieces at this point in the game is if they're fantastic sets and not ascendable sets, because you're never ascending a main stat crit rate piece. That would just be a total waste of your essential materials. And you want perfection on the substats. So rule 1 is, all right, crit rate's the main. I want attack bonus, rage regen percentage, crit damage, and attack speed. And then rule number 2 is attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed, and flat attack. It really is as simple as that. It needs to be perfect. Our 2-piece sets now, you'll see we've got another handful of rules, starting with our tanks. We had to make 2 tank rules, and the whole issue, there's slight imperfections in the rules. It's because when you go to make a rule for a 2-piece set, it's kind of a mess. They do not let you select the main stat. It's a catch-all for both your weapons and your breastplates, aka your attack main stat and your HP main stat. But because of that, you can't tailor it so perfectly. There are some things you can avoid, like if you put HP as a substat, you know that could only land on a weapon. Obviously, you can't have HP as a substat on a breastplate because it already has as the main stat. But in general, this is where the only holes in the rules go. However, the holes aren't going to let good stuff slip through. It just occasionally will let suboptimal pieces slip through. Not very often, though. So very, very quickly now, we've got Immortal, Warrior, and Life Force, and we're saying we need all of these 3. We're calling it left side tanks 2 because these are the breastplate rules. A tanky breastplate, we want all of these 3. Now we have tanks left side 1, and shout out to Maku for catching this hole. That's why we had to split it into 2 rules. This is for our weapon. We're saying our weapon needs 4 out of these 5. This is an example of a slip through. We could get flat defense, flat HP, defense bonus, and attack speed. In the late game, end game, that is a sell. There's no way you're keeping a tank piece without HP bonus, but that won't happen very often. And very often you'll get HP bonus, flat HP, and then 2 other ones, right? Or something like that, or HP bonus, defense, so on and so on. In general, you'll always want HP bonus and defense bonus, but there's really no proper way to set that unless we set it as just those 2, but then it'd be suboptimal. We'd rather let a couple things slip through. Now we've got Inspiration. This is strictly just for breastplates. However, you wouldn't want there being a Warlord piece that had attack bonus and flat attack, and potentially they both could roll gold or red or something, but you sold it because it didn't meet any other special rules. So because of that, we made a special Inspiration hero rule. This is for your Bubbas, your Doloreses, your Constances, your Pharisee, so on. Now we've got HP and defense DPS. We've got our sets here. For this, we got 5 substats, and we're saying we need 3 of them. Again, this could be imperfect. You could end up with defense bonus, HP bonus, and attack speed on a weapon. It is what it is. There's no other better way to design it. What we could say is on the breastplates, you're kind of more constricted because you can't get attack speed. Attack speed cannot land on a breastplate. And then a weapon, you cannot get crit damage on a weapon. The only exceptions being ancient and variant gear. So it does kind of control it. So a good example would be like, you could have a breastplate, you know you can't get attack speed, so you will get 3 out of the remaining 4, but you know, it's not gonna be the attack speed. So could you get HP bonus, defense bonus, and then crit damage, so no crit rate? Yes, but in general, it will usually work out. Now we've got our healers for HP. I think this is self-explanatory. Same thing with our attack-based healers for the left side stuff. For HP, there are holes here, right? Because you have to do 3 on the weapon. For example, you could take flat HP, heal effect, attack speed. You miss the HP bonus. It is what it is. I will say for the attack-based healers, it is perfect because one stat is always getting eliminated because it cannot be a substat. On our breastplates, we can't get attack speed, so it's saying we need attack bonus, flat attack, and heal effect. And then with the weapon, the main stat's already attack, so you can't get flat attack as a substat, so it's saying we need attack bonus, heal effect, and attack speed. Very end of it now, we've got our attack-based DPS. This is pretty darn simple. We need 3 of this bunch, and here again, it is limited in the proper way. On the weapon, we cannot get crit damage, so it's saying on a weapon of these sets, we need attack bonus, crit rate, and attack speed. And then for the breastplate, you cannot get attack speed, so it's saying I want attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage. Whew. That was a lot. Fantastic. Before I very quickly, and I mean very quickly because this is taking a while, I go over the mid-game rules because they're all the same, just adapted versions. Let's sell this off and let's get that nice feeling. Boom, 187 in the bin. I don't care if they have high rarity or enhancement level. Give me that cash. We're off and we're cooking. All right, here we are on my free-to-play Epix account, level 65, pretty solidly mid-game. So here we've got my mid-game settings. This is basically for anyone after the very start of the game, and then before the point where you've like beaten all 3 gear aids stage 21. These are the rules I think you should be following, the ones you should import. I'll show you the code right now, but essentially you're not as picky at this point in the game. Starting off with tanks, right side gear for tanks, you can see the exact same substats and main stats we're looking for, except now I've selected all sets. You are very comfortable still running broken set tanks at this point if they have the right substats, so that is how we set it up. We've got our Glacier rule. It's very similar, it's just less stringent. It's now taking only 2 out of this smaller pool. Basically, it's saying if it has attack bonus, it wants HP bonus and flat HP. If it has HP bonus, it wants attack bonus and flat HP. Now we've got our healers for HP and our spammers. So you saw last time they were 2 different rules, but now because these rules are broader, they actually fulfill all the requirements for our spammer utility heroes as well. Again, we're very comfortable going broken sets, so we've selected all broken sets, and now we're just saying it needs these 3 stats. So one of these will be the main stat, and the other 2 will be required substats. We've got our attack-based healers, same exact story here, totally. Here we folded in heal effect, but honestly, on second thought right now, I do think that should be taken out and we should go broader. So we should set this to 2 requirements, so it's the same exact story as with our HP-based healers. A key thing to note if you make your own rules and go to export them, once you make a change, they change. So my code just changed. This is the new code. I'll make sure the updated codes are in the description, but every time you do change, like 1 or 2 letters will change. Other note, if you're going to share it with your friends, always include that equals sign at the end. It's part of the code. It is required. So moving right along, we have 2 new crit rate main stat rules. We split it up. The difference is we have 1 rule for if it's a top set, so a very good set. Basically, you need crit rate as the main. Obviously, it's crit rate main rule, and now we're requiring it as attack bonus and crit damage. And then when it goes to all sets, and we're including all sets, the key thing here is we're getting pickier with our substats. Sure, you can run a crit rate main on a broken set piece, but then the subsets better be beautiful. So we want attack bonus, crit damage, and attack speed. We have what I'm calling general defense DPS and general HP DPS. The substat rules are identical as previous with the main stat. The only difference is we're saying all sets are fine. You're comfortable running broken sets at this point in your game progression. And now we have our general attack DPS. This word general here is to draw distinction from our top DPS attack. The point is, when it comes to these top most desirable sets at this point in the game, you're comfortable with worse substats, whereas when you go broken set, you still want really good substats. So we're going attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed, and then the same drill. We need 3 of them. That's when we do broken set, and we're saying all sets. When we go for the good sets, we're saying the same main stats, but we're comfortable with just 2 of these selected attributes. Sure, you could end up with like crit damage, crit rate, attack speed, but if you're on the early part of the mid game, you could totally use that. And if not, you can sell that off and it'll be a lighter cleanse, but it's important because if you had attack bonus crit rate crit damage, or attack bonus crit rate attack speed, or even attack bonus crit damage attack speed, you totally would still use that at this point in the game. Two-piece is very, very similar. For HP and defense DPS, it's actually the same. This is such a rare thing that you're going to build for these heroes. You can be just as picky as before. You're only going to need like one HP based DPS set and one defense based DPS set at most, honestly, so that is fine. Now we have our HP based healer rules. We had to divide them into rule 1 and rule 2. This one is for our weapons. We're saying we want HP bonus and attack speed as the subsets. These are the sets. And then for the other one, this is specifically for breastplates. We want HP bonus and heal effect. This one obviously is, unless it's ancient, it requires it for a weapon because it has attack speed. That can't come on a breastplate. This one will allow some pieces to slip through the cracks that have HP bonus and heal effect on a weapon. You always want attack speed on a weapon, but still, there's no other cleaner way to do this. And at this point in the game, maybe if you got enough attack speed elsewhere, you could live with a weapon like that. Now for our attack healers, very similar story. We're saying we want 2 of these, and this is pretty nice because it does require it. The attack main stat on the weapon means you can't get that as a secondary, so it's saying on my weapons, I want attack bonus and attack speed. You can't get attack speed on the breastplate, so it's saying on my breastplates, I want attack bonus and flat attack. We've got our tanks. Very simple. We need HP bonus, we need defense bonus. That's enough for us. So we're requiring both of those, and that is it. Then finally, our attack-based DPS. Same exact thing as before, but instead of requiring 3 selected attributes, we are doing 2. We're saying we want attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and attack speed. Give us 2 of them. Can it create weird things where you could have like a crit rate attack speed weapon? Sure, you'll sell it. But in general, for the weapons, you can't get crit damage, so you'll get attack bonus and crit rate, or attack bonus and attack speed 2/3 of the time, or it should be that way. It probably won't be because the rates are all rigged. But then with the breastplates, you'll see you can't get attack speed, so you can get the very sellable crit rate and crit damage, no attack bonus, but a lot of times you'll get attack bonus with crit rate or attack bonus with crit damage. There you go. Those are all the rules. I'll put the codes up on the screen right now. I really hope this helps. I am certain this video is a lot longer than other people that made videos like this. That's why the codes are in the description right from the get. But it was important to me that I explained it all to you because I actually did find this interesting. And some of you are going to say this is boring, but I bet a couple of you found this interesting too. That makes it worth it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, notification bell, get in the comments, share it with your mother. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.